Tales of Riches and Woe from the Chicago Tribune, February 3, 1899. Read by Frank Blissett. J. Collette, a mad inventor, mystifies the police. Aged Belgian, who says his family is wealthy and powerful, imagines foes are trying to steal his models from 399 West Randolph Street and goes insane. Strapped down at police station. Wife corroborates his statements. J. Collette, 399 West Randolph Street, who says he is an inventor of reputation and son of Peter Louis Collette, a former banker in Brussels worth $10 million, was locked in a cell at the Des Plaines Street station last night on a charge of disorderly conduct. He was arrested on the complaint of his wife, who went to the Lake Street police station and said there that her husband was breaking the windows and furniture of the house and becoming dangerous because he supposed that two men were trying to break in and steal his inventions. Her husband, she said, had been driven insane by his misfortunes and the poverty that had followed his once brilliant career. Collette was so violent when brought to the station that he had to be placed in a straitjacket. Lieutenant O'Hara questioned both the man and his wife for an hour, but was unable to get a connected story from them. Mr. Collette, when seen later, talked as follows. "I am a Belgian and the son of Louis Collette, a wealthy banker of Brussels, who died in 1860. I was educated as a civil engineer, and I have served 3 years in the French army. I have been in this country twice. The first time in 1892, when I came to travel and to spend my money. I was married to Mrs. Agnes Gray, a Scotchwoman in Boston. I returned before the World's Fair, and I had an exhibit there. After the fair, my wife and I lived at the Victoria for a time, moving from there to 4114 Grand Boulevard. My inventions include a process for preserving hides and a device for muzzling dogs. At last all my money was spent, and we moved to the west side, coming after a time to live in the house at 399 West Randolph Street, where the men tried to steal my inventions. They are Bat Jennings, 416 State Street, and Silas Barr, 5819 Indiana Avenue. Collette then mentioned the many friends he possessed in this city and Belgium, adding that a remittance of $350,000 was due him from his father. "See Mr. Henrotin, the Belgian consul," he told the police. "He will tell you who I am." The man's wife followed him to the station and declared that every word her husband said was true. "And there's more to it, too," she said. "He has been persecuted by two men who are trying to take his fortune away from him." For more than an hour, Lieutenant O'Hara questioned Mrs. Collette, and when he had finished the interview, he was as much puzzled as to what to make of the case as he had been when he first heard Collette's statement. When questioned regarding Collette's story early this morning, Consul Henrotin said he recalled that a Belgian of that name lived in Chicago and was, he thought, an inventor of children's toys, it seemed to him. Collette, he said, came from a good family in Belgium, though he was not too familiar with the details of his history. He had not heard from him for some time, and did not know that he was married. No such names as Bat Jennings and Silas Barr are given in the city directory at the addresses given by Collette. That was Tells of Riches and Woe, from the Chicago Tribune, February 3, 1899. Read by Frank Blissett.